Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing. Big night coming to you tonight, although it was dismal weather for the last week. It couldn't have been any worse. Ads for the trout season, big opening weekend, stonkers everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Pouring with rain and coffee-coloured water.
Yeah, that's right. No one told the weather gods it was trout opening this week. So.
No.
But if history serves us correctly, the trout will go for the next few months. Realistically, it's not a one-shot wonder to go and catch the stonkers. They'll be around.
Trelly, does that brown chocolate water that everyone's reporting from about Saturday lunchtime onwards in the Goulburn River, does that flow all the way down to Shepparton? Like, did you get all that rain up in the country?
Yeah, we did actually. We got a fair bit of rain through our area, but that'll probably stop it at Nagambie because we got a bit of a dam set up there before the ship. But yeah, I think it's sort of level, put everyone on a bit of a level playing field, would you say, as far as the opening?
Yeah.
Still a couple that dominated though.
Well, plenty coming up in Catch of the Week, and of course we've got Product of the Week, hotspots, all the regular things. But before we start talking fishing, boys, can I just say congratulations to you both and to all the crew, because you know there is a crew of about 5 people on the other side of the glass working hard behind the scenes. There's Big Kev at home, and he's been working all day on production. But we are finalists in what they call the Antenna Awards. I guess it's the Logie's version for community television, and we are finalists.
Bit better.
Finalists in the best live and/or outdoor broadcast program, and finalists in the best lifestyle program. So pretty proud of the team, because it's without any one of us, this show wouldn't go to air. And
good job, team.
Pretty good achievement. So October 5, we will know whether we win a big award. But certainly, I think this is our 165th episode and our 5th year. And you guys know the work that goes in, and particularly Big Kev, needs a big congratulations. All the work he does. He gets it done. I mean,
we make it really hard for him. Yeah, he gets it done.
But 5 years ago he built this set, and it's a pretty proud moment. Hasn't the Victorian Fisheries Authority built up trout opening to what it should be?
Well,
that's definitely.
Right. It's back on the calendar as far as you look at something. I got a picture I pulled out from underneath my lino from and it was in the paper in about 1930 or 42 or something like that, and it was like Hartley's at Bendigo, and the bank of one of the lakes over there was just lined with people
for trout opening.
And this has just brought it back, and you see a couple of snaps on social media where they take a picture down the creek, and I think it was about 30 people, I think.
So when you got 30, 40 cars at Thornton waiting for it to tick over to midnight, basically.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
Plenty to talk about. Let's have a look at what the people at home are catching. It's time for I got me tongue.
Rewind.
Folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
And of course it wouldn't be the same this time of year if it didn't feature a monster calamari, because they're everywhere, boys. Western Port seems to be dominating. And have a look at this one, Mick Rushford, a beautiful calamari off reel.
Wow.
Last week they dominated, this week they've dominated, and you've got to obviously pick your days. I mean, there's been some pretty atrocious days, a lot of rain, but...
that's a big calamari.
That is a big calamari.
It's good. Mick, you must have been good at that one.
No. Now, one man that took notice of our hotspots last week was Poya Madani, and Poya got down to the Flinders Pier, and that's a cracking calamari down there as well.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially land-based.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. We talk about other things, but land-based.
It's got to be one of the best places to go land-based. And
for big calamari. Yeah. It's the spot.
Now, like I said earlier on, it was pretty ordinary weather. To get out on the bays, and I think only maybe late Thursday, Friday might have been all right, but the weekend was really a write-off. And
Yeah, the
that.
weekend was
But
average.
people did get out to do a lot of freshwater fishing.
Mm-hmm.
None other than Brian Buttigieg, who got up to Lake Eildon, and now is the time. We were talking about it last
Yes,
week,
that's
Shelley.
right.
Now's the time. A 125 centimetre
That's a cracker.
Murray cod. I mean, that's...
Absolute beauty. Look, that's.
How old's that fish?
Well, I think they've been stocking for how long, Dave? I reckon about
25 years.
25 years have been stocking. I reckon that's one of those 20-year-old babies, I reckon.
Really?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I'm putting 20 years on. Although we couldn't.
Seen a lot of trout and redfin in his guts. Over 20 years.
He's probably ate a ton of stocked fish.
I was going to say, here the cod also celebrated Trout Opening by learning.
Oh, it's trout opening.
Yeah, but that's pretty good. All right, talking of trout opening, it wouldn't be the same this time of year if we didn't show the stonkers that came out of the Goulburn River. Let's kick it off. James Sivia, I think is how we say it. James,
Good
well
finish.
done.
Yep.
That's a stonker.
The colours are still great in them, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, bridge behind him there. I can't. Yeah, don't know the bridge is up that way, but
No, but good fish, bud.
beautiful fish.
Yeah, excellent.
Next one is Peter Lane. Now his brother Mick sent this one in. Caught at Blue Gums Caravan Park
Nice.
Just downstream.
on a Rapala CD5 while paddling in the kayak.
I was going to say,
There
it's
you
good.
go.
What a nice way to catch a rainbow trout. Eh?
Yes.
It's gee, they're good fish.
You caught a trout out of your kayak, have you, Adam?
No.
Oh, see, there you
Most
go.
of the trout I catch are land-based, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something good.
Another stonker, Dean Barnett, a 12-pound. Have a look at that.
Far out.
These are the
Big
fish.
fish.
Now, I think we've got the map coming up later on the show. Was it 1,500 stocked in the Goulburn River over this?
7 tonnes or something.
Yeah, and I think 500 went into the pondage. Yeah,
and a
but
few went to Ballarat too, isn't it?
yeah, but not part of the 2,000 fish.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty good. And let's round it off. Tommy Porzik and his young son, another beautiful rainbow trout. This time out of the pondage.
Must have been raining. Check out the poncho.
Yeah.
That was
I reckon about halfway through Saturday it came
Oh,
down.
and it didn't stop.
Some great footage too, apart from all the photos we got sent.
Yeah.
The Blackford boys.
Oh, didn't they get it done?
It's up on YouTube. I don't know if you Google trout fishing Goulburn or something like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But the boys were out there on dark, Saturday morning, on dark, and I think they got 22 fish caught and released in the dark, and they've got their headlamps on. They're just a fish a cast. Sorry, a stonker a cast.
Oh, really?
Just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got some footage on that?
On YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I haven't got it here. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pic to info@ifish.com.au. Go Pies!
Yeah, I wanna go fishing.
And coming up next, fisheries news, including where those stonker trout were stocked in the Goulburn River. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away.
Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
Plenty of news this week, I can tell you, so let's get into it. We forgot to put up the map last week. There's no other way to say it.
First show back.
So, yeah,
Can't
first
be
show
blamed for
back.
that.
Travis was on and we had a lot to get through.
Yep.
But you can't get everything in one show. So, have a look at this. This is where the stonkers got stocked a week ago, and they're going to be there for the next few months, boys.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
So, I've got to try and read this myself. 150 Molesworth Caravan Park, 150 at Alexandra Bridge, 150 at Breakaway Bridge, 150 at Gilmore's Bridge, 100 at McMartin's Lane, 200 at Thornton Beach, 100 at Eildon Waters, 50 at Point Hill Reserve, 200 at Blue Gums. No wonder it was good at Blue
Blue
Gums.
Gums is all right.
And 500 at Eildon Ponge. I think I got them all in there. So there you go. The maps, that will be up on our social media tomorrow if you want to know where to go fishing, because those fish will be, they're relatively stay in the same area they're released.
Yeah, definitely.
Relatively.
Yep.
So they'll just be holding their own, like drinking a cafe latte or something like that, coffee-coloured water going down the Goulburn River. Keep going. This is a cracker. Charlie, I'd like your comments on this one. Fisheries officers on Western Port have issued a $495 infringement notice to a Pakenham man for using an undersized snapper and flathead as bait. I think we've got a photo here. Most people know better than that, but not this guy who baited an 18-centimetre pinky on a ganged hook.
Golly.
The minimum legal length of snapper is 28 centimetres. The man also had kept 2 undersized flathead for bait. It's easy to do the right thing though. Just get hold of a free fish length ruler, stick it on your boat or cooler and measure up.
That's right.
Then you won't be baiting up an 18 centimetre. What has he done wrong there, Charlie? What's he done wrong?
Shame on him.
What's he done wrong?
Oh, he obviously didn't cut off quick enough, did he? When he saw him coming. But, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
come on, it's live bait.
Wrong answer.
Live bait undersized fish 101, isn't it?
Caught, doesn't he?
Wrong answer. Yeah, well, $500 almost pour off that man. 18 centimetre on a gang hook, I tell you what.
Terrible.
This is a serious one, a great program that he's running, and it's called Casting for Recovery. The details will go up on your screen now. It's a free fly fishing pampering weekend retreat for people who have had breast cancer in Victoria. Fly fishing uses a whole range of body movement, especially the arms and chest, making it the perfect sport post-breast cancer surgery. If you wish to participate, donate or sponsor, then jump onto our website to read more about who we are and what we do and fill in the appropriate form. It's castingforrecoveryvic.org. Now, they do have a retreat coming up. It's fully booked out, but they are taking names for future retreats. So if you know someone who would be interested, it's for free. It's a great little program, and our good friend who's been on the show, Charlie May, is a part of this.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is a really cool program.
I like it.
Really, really cool program. So castingforrecoveryvic.org if you've got any interest or know someone who would be interested in that program. It's just fantastic what Charlie and her friends do for that organisation. Fantastic. The next one, no boat ramp fees at Frankston. Now, we talked about this last week, boys, that it was close. That's the headline. Boat ramp fees have been scrapped for boaters using Cannanook Creek and Oliver's Hill ramps in Frankston, giving Victorians even more reason to celebrate the start of the boating and fishing season. Minister for Boating and Fishing Jarla Pulford joined member for Frankston Paul Edbrook and representatives from Frankston City Council to announce that boaters will no longer have to pay fees at the council's 2 public boat ramps. Boaters are reminded that cars without trailers using Frankston boat ramps will continue to pay parking fees. Queenscliff and Morty Alec are the only public boat ramps that continue to charge parking and launching fees. And today, the Minister called on the Borough of Queenscliff and the City of Kingston to work with government to remove fees as soon as possible.
Recalcitrants.
Well, why would the City of Kingston and the Borough of Queenscliff hold back when every other boat ramp in Victoria is now free?
Well, they clearly don't want people using their ramp.
That's right, exactly.
You might be onto something
push
there.
them somewhere else.
It's the only thing
They
I
want
think
to
of.
put a day spa on the ramp.
Well, we've got a bit of mail on Kingston.
Where were you at the launch anyway, Dave?
Don't get me started. We've got some mail on Kingston very, very shortly, so stay tuned for that. And the last one is the Vic Fish Kids program.
Come on.
There's 3 more for this year. It's a great program. 200 free rods and reels up for grabs during each of the days. They're free events, and they're determined to get more children fishing more often. They're fun and free, and everything is provided so youngsters can cast a line and try fishing in a safe and supportive environment. This Sunday, is the 15th of September, and it's on at Pakenham Lake, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Sunday, the 6th of October, which is the weekend after the AFL Grand Final. I think it's the last weekend of the school holidays. Seymour at Goulburn Park, 10 till 4. And then later on in December, if you can put that one in your diary.
Absolutely.
Trelly.
I'll be policing that
Victoria Park, Shepparton. Is that the same weekend as the conference?
It is the same weekend as the conference. It'll be a huge weekend
You'd be
in
policing,
Shepparton.
policing under the influence.
Bloody oath, I'll be down
You're
there
just going for a
policing.
free rod and reel, aren't you?
You try and sneak off with a rod and reel without taking your kids fishing, I'll be there, mate.
So there you go. Plenty of news happening. Now, Trelly, one of the things, I don't know if we may have spoken about this last season, but I want to pick your brain on it. I know it's cod close season, and you can go and catch Murray cod in Lake Eildon, which is great. And
Correct.
But when we were up at Shepparton during winter, I don't know when that was, when we came up to your place, and there was a guy in the audience who was a chef, and he said that trout cod tastes better than Murray cod by a million miles.
Yeah.
Now, I know that trout cod are probably still seen as a threatened type species, but
In places.
but there is good populations in places, and the people in the audience. We did a bit of a talking fishing live that night in your shop. Didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you can't remember it.
No, I remember now.
Yeah. And but he was saying so that they'd love to see the Victorian Fisheries Authority open trout cod fishing to the public.
Correct.
Because the populations are growing. Now, I think once the Shepparton hatcheries open, it will probably be producing some good trout cod, or Snobs Creek will have the capacity. One of them will be doing it.
That's right.
You ever eaten trout cod?
Yep.
And
I'm probably one of the ones that's old enough to be around when it was
when
on
you
the
were
menu.
allowed to.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. Are they that much better than Murray cod?
I think they're probably a firmer, I want to say firmer, softer fish, so it contradicts itself. But they seem to be like that. How do you explain it? The coral, the saltwater trout cod to cod. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
You got your trout cod, which is just like the jewel of the cod fishing in the saltwater, and you got your cod, which is okay.
Yeah.
I think your trout cod is probably just that little bit better than Murray cod. Yeah, but it's and why you say numbers? I mean, from Tokemore below Lake Mile Whaler down to Tokemore, I mean, they are literally. If you go up there fishing, they're literally like rats.
Yeah.
On the bottom of the river.
Yeah.
There's plenty up there.
Yeah.
But
so when do you think that? Well, I mean, they're not going to open it now, but I mean, is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years before you think?
Look, I would imagine they'd continue to do the electro fishing and tend to take that data and then feed it back through and say, well, yes, we have a point where we could say 2 years' time or 3 years' time. That's not up to me to decide.
Yeah.
But I think that point is getting closer.
Yeah.
Because there are increased numbers, and like I say, between Tokemore and upstream, there's a huge amount of them in there. So the population is quite good there.
Yeah.
And those trout cod would be spawning.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're spawning in those areas. Yeah, for sure. Because as long as along with cod, you catch cod and you catch them towards the season or end of the season and start of the season. You see eggs in those, and they'll be doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was just interested in that bloke, that was a chef, and he said trout cod are 100 times better than Murray cod to eat. So very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
The other thing that was published and I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I've given you all this notice about what I'm going to talk to you about.
I love it. Oh, here we go again.
Today, the Victorian Fisheries Authority published the names and the photos of the recreational fishing licence working group on social media.
Yes, I did get a word.
And you were one of them.
That's right, exactly, yeah. Yep.
That's a great bunch of people.
Yeah, actually, some really interesting people on there. And one of the women in recreational fishing being accepted this year is Nikki on there.
Yeah.
Nikki Duckstein. So, she's
now
a great
Nikki
trooper.
and Tiff are going to come and join us in a couple of weeks.
Oh, very good.
Women in Rec Fishing. We'll do a show on Women in Rec Fishing. But you're right, Nikki's on there.
Yep.
But I've got to say, I was on that group probably 15 years ago, and I didn't think it was that talented. And probably including me, I didn't know a lot about what I was talking about there.
Yep.
And
well, pulled him out of the hat then.
well, back then I think they did. But what a talented group, and I just think it makes it really satisfying as an angler that you've got so much knowledge in the room, providing that good advice to the minister on how the licence money is spent.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people who've been on there, previous to this new, the new mob. I'd call myself the new mob being on there.
Yeah.
Who brings a little bit of knowledge as far as some of the things that come across the table, and he gives a little bit of perspective on how allocating funds has shifted a little bit and a few other things have crept into it. So we've got to keep them out and can concentrate on what's best for recreational anglers in those particular cases that are put forward for funding. And then we've got the likes of myself who come along and we're learning the ropes a bit with a few of those guys with a clear directive from what we've got to work with. And it's funny because we did a bit of shadow boxing because we had the first meeting.
Yeah.
And then the applications come across, clearly that's not right. We'll get rid of that and stuff like that. But that's good, yeah. So also those people who apply, they get a bit of direction back to them too, as far as that goes too. So it's a both way thing. Get things going.
Good stuff. We might go to a break. Coming up next, product of the week. We look at one of the best fishing reels to hit the market in 2019. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing, and we're going to launch straight into Product of the Week with a reel that was released while we're on our winter break, but we want to officially introduce the Stratic FL. And we're going to do something a little bit different with this reel because we could just hold it up and wind it and tell you how good it is, but what we want to do is compare it to the old Stratic FK to show you where the improvements have been made. Now, we've got a little slide prepared for you, so we'll shoot that up on the screen now, and it'll give you just a little checkbox of where the improvements have been made from the Stratic FL from the Stratic FK. So micro module gear 2, now we'll get into these as we go, I just want to give you a bit of an overview. Micro module gear 2, silent drive, there's been an improvement to Hagani gearing, X Protect and a long stroke spool basically make up the new Stratic FL. Now boys, you can see straight off the bat with the Stratic FL. Now, Dave, you've got a 2500 there. Trelly, you've got a 3000, and I've got a 5000 size here. They are, tell me they're not one of the smoothest reels you've ever held in your life.
Super smooth.
I think it's the best looking Stratic. Listen, that is part of it. I don't care what the technology does. It looks sexy as hell. Now, I mentioned at the top, Micro Module 2 is one of the features, but before we get to that, silent drive.
Yeah. What's silent drive?
So what does it mean? Silent drive, basically, in amongst all the gearing and the internals, there's a slide that'll flash up on your screen now.
It's a mute button.
In between all the internals, they have basically identified anywhere where there's too much space that over time could cause play or unnecessary noise.
Yeah, okay.
They've taken those gaps out. As you can see, it looks very technical.
Yep.
And it all sits within that tiny body, so that over time, no matter how long you use the reel for under what circumstances, whether it's brim and trout fishing with a 1000 or light kingfish and snapper with a 5000, over time the reel stays as silent as it's smooth as it does when you take it out of the box on day one. Wow. So that's silent drive. Now to accompany that, we move into Micro Module 2, which is around the actual cut of the gearing. You can see on your screen now, the grooves in that gearing is cut so precisely and to an absolute perfect shape.
To the micron.
Well, there you go, to the micron, hence the name. Again, it's all about building a reel that stays silent and stays smooth throughout the course of the life of the reel, regardless of what pressure you put it under. So Shimano have gotten to the point with their technology that everything now is about precision and about perfection.
Yep.
And now you can get all of that technology in a reel that sits in about the $300 to $350 price point.
Yeah.
That's pretty special. because they have some characteristics about these reels as good as the flagship reel in the Stella.
Yep.
It has now made its way into a Stratic.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing the Stratic has done is taken a brand new feature in the long stroke spool. That is all about casting distance and castability. So,
Is that all?
so that's all. So I think we've got a slide of the long cast spool as well. You're just getting a little bit of extra height. So not only does it assist line lay, but it allows the line to come off the spool with less friction as it hits the lip, therefore giving you less resistance off the spool and more distance in your cast. So you couple that with some of the insane rod technology, which we'll cover throughout the course of this season on Talking Fishing, and you can cast the lightest possible lures and soft plastics with ease and get the distance and the accuracy that you require. So that's the Stratic FL. It is a big upgrade over the Stratic FK, and we all know how good that reel was.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the best reels for its price point that I've seen in all the years I've been in the fishing industry, and I honestly believe that. You've just got to have a muck around with one.
Yeah, that's right. Hagani gears.
So Hagani gears, they've actually
body.
and they've improved the Hagani process. So they've changed the design of the gearing again. It is still cold forged like the original Hagani gear, but again you're getting that extra longevity.
Yeah.
Basically, what Shimano wants you to do is spend your hard earned on a good quality reel, and it stays that quality
Forever.
from day 150 than it did on day one.
That's right. And this the Hagani system, just remembering ads, you probably covered it, is the rigidity of the frame with the rigidity of the gears. Once you start to distort the frame,
it's all
puts
one
pressure.
piece.
Yeah, that's right.
Puts pressure on everything else, doesn't it?
That's right, and that's a huge part of fishing reels that we never quite understood. The flex in the body can actually puts pressure on the gears, which
gives
causes
resistance, makes it feel
which
bad.
causes wear. So now, not only have you got all that technology inside the reel, but the body's actually shielding it again.
That's right.
So you're not putting as much pressure on the internals. Great technology, it really is.
Beautiful.
And it's a beautiful reel.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, when you go to the cabinet, you sort of pull them out, you have a bit of feel and a bit of a play, and you do all this stuff, and you go, oh, I think I'll have that.
Well, after all these years, and you've been in the industry longer than Dave and I combined, you still get excited taking that brand new reel out of a box for the first time, don't you?
I know. You think, oh, that's my old favourite. It gets a flick.
Keep it on the back door, waiting for it to come in.
Now, as these are also, they also come in a 1,000 and a 4,000 as
yeah.
well.
So the full, I guess, lighter size range that's available from 1,000 all the way through to 5,000. So you are literally covered from trout in a 1,000, capable of casting the lightest lures with mono or braid, all the way through to the 5,000, which I've got in my hand here, which, listen, for our market, we probably sell a lot for snapper and Murray cod trolly. It has that much power. You could use it as a light kingfish reel for when you get kings at the back of the boat. You can cast a sluggo or a flick bait or something like that. Definitely more than capable of doing it.
So tell me something. 2 models ago, the Stratic FJ, which was the white model, came in a 6,000 and an 8,000.
Yes.
Why aren't Shimano doing those bigger reels now in the Stratics?
Well, I think Shimano have identified over the years that in order to create a reel worthy of the species you're targeting, they've completely split their range. So you've got a Stratic FL and Stratic FK, which was, I guess, a finessed light offshore sort of heavy estuary. Once you get past that, you're now talking about a completely different kettle of fish. Now, they go insane with drag pressure, so quite a large stack carbon drag system, which you just don't need in the smaller reels, through to tougher bodies and bigger bodies to withstand more drag pressure. They've taken them out, and that's where you see the saltwater concept reels from Socorro, Saragossa, which has been so popular for us all. They really have separated it, and I think it makes it easier from the consumer perspective to identify what reel is going to suit them. You're either looking for a large saltwater reel or you're looking for a smaller, lighter finesse reel, and that's been made easier now as they've separated the two from their ranges, and I think it's worked really well.
That's right.
There you go.
Really
the
nice reel.
Stratic FL.
I mean, mind you, I think the 5,000 this is still pulling 10 or 12 kilos of drag.
Well, the
So
other one was
it's-
11 kilos.
So
I
it's
think,
not
yeah.
like they can't do it. They just, they're a lot more compact
So the
and
new
lighter than
Stratic,
they've ever been.
even if you don't catch fish, you'll
Just
feel
say
good
yes,
using
you
it.
look good doing it too.
Change of subject, boys. How good is this time of year? Now, looking at there's a certain website, I think it's Bay Works or something like that, gives you the temperature from 4 different points in the bay.
Oh, nice.
And the water temperature has increased.
That's
so we are
exciting.
now heading up, and it will continue to head up all the way through to probably late January now. So, but with the cold water that we've got comes crystal clear water, and a friend of a friend was out at the Pinnis Channel last Friday, had a burley pot in 3.5 metres of water, and could not count the amount of King George whiting just nibbling at the burley pot.
And even though the water temperature
amazing.
has started to rise, it's still cold.
It's still cold, and so it's crystal clear.
So what does that mean for summer and spring when we get our whiting time?
Yeah.
We've got schools of whiting sitting in there now at the
I
coldest part of the year.
I know. I tried to get Greg Jenkins on the show. He's the whiting scientist, if you like, and he's just full on. So he hasn't got the time at the moment to come on the show. I'll try and get him on some stage. But, he always says to us that when they get to 4 years of age, those fish leave the bay and go to spawn. They don't know where.
Yep.
I'd love to, there's so much I'd love to get on the show about whiting. But they virtually, they've tagged, it's around 600, I think. 600 whiting have been tagged in Western Port and Port Phillip. Not one of them has been recaptured offshore. So those bigger fish, when they leave, they don't know where they go. They don't know where they go because they're not being recaught
And they're not
once they
landing in
leave
the
the bay.
Because I think for a little while they had an inkling that there was potentially a spawning site down around Portland. But
Maybe.
they can't find it.
No, they could be
They
going to
can't find it.
Tasmania because
Tasmania?
they found them on the northeast corner of Tasmania. So no one knows. And the tagging program is
And so
not
we know in
telling
South
us that.
Australia
But how good is it that we've got...
fish.
And you hope those fish stay in the bay right through till this season, if you like. When I say season, this summer, how good would it be if we've got 42 to 43?
We're loaded with small fish being 40 centimetres.
So good. All right, we've got to go to a break. Coming up next, Kramer's Mailbag. And it's a big one. I think 7 or 8 to get through. It's a big one. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing. Every day's a chance to drift away.
Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Alrighty, let's get into the mailbag, boys. There's a bit to get through.
The bag is back.
I tell you what, did I mention boat ramps at all? Because
I don't believe you. There's no boat ramp.
Just give us one boat ramp.
a leader writes in and says, why didn't they pull this sign down when taking the other ones out? Have a look at this sign. This is at the Rye boat ramp, obviously. So they've left a sign up saying you've got to pay. So
Hasn't been graffitied. Yep.
John Baker, the CEO down there. John, if you're watching, there's a sign still up at the Rye boat ramp. Should have mentioned that when I caught up with him just recently.
You can cover that hole in your shed now.
There you go, leader. Hopefully we get that one taken down. Greg writes to us, hey guys, I got an update on Morty Alec Ramp. I sent them a message last week during the show because we told them to.
Yep.
And this is the response. We've got a snapshot there. He writes, hi Kingston, watching Talking Fishing tonight, and they have said that the Morty Alec boat ramp will still be charging launching fees. Why is this so when you've removed it from Patterson River? Well, not quite Kingston for them. But City of Kingston wrote back, hi Greg, council will continue to charge fees at the Governor Road boat ramp until such time council has formally resolved otherwise. We anticipate this will occur late September. So that's
Okay.
Warm regards from Lauren. So
Thanks,
you have to get
Lauren.
Lauren on the show to make the announcement, do you reckon?
Well, I probably should. Good
Lauren?
Yeah.
Lauren's
Couple of
the
star jumps.
Lauren's the manager of the Morty Alec boat ramp. Write to Lauren if you want to hurry them up. No, seriously, if you want to hurry them up, just get on must be on the Facebook, City of Kingston. Get on there and just say, hey, Lauren, exactly what date? You could probably hashtag it, I love Marty.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows Marty, don't they?
No, that's right. The pin-up boy.
Hashtag I love Marty on all your Facebook pages or your Facebook comments or whatever.
Well, it's coming.
All right, let's. Hey guys, do you know if they are going to do anything about the amount of sand at the Rye boat ramp, as you are unable to launch your boat from there during low tide? That was from Nicole.
These will be the next round of questions. Is all.
Well, no, this is the next bit of work. I mean, you know, when we had the Premier in here, and his documentation on the boating announcement said that they're going to make boating better, cheaper, and easier. Now they're doing the cheaper bit, no doubt, nearly through it. Better, has it got better? No, it hasn't got better, and this is where Better Boating Victoria have got to start not just focusing on one thing, but dredging. Now, I did catch up with the CEO of the Mornington Peninsula Shire the other day, and we talked about dredging because Sorrento, if you go down to Sorrento, you've got two piers. One's on the rock wall, and the other one's over to the, I guess, on the ferry side, if you like. That one on the ferry side, it's okay on the inside, but on the outside, it's just sand. You cannot get a boat on. So you're taking out 2 to 3 boats that could be tied up waiting for trailers. Desperately needs dredging. Rye has got sand on it. Tutgarook desperately needs dredging. Mornington desperately needs dredging. And what we've got now is free boat ramps that are part inoperable, you know, and that's what I mean. I mean, so Nicole, haven't got an answer, but I'm sure we will get an answer. But
don't need to worry about dredging when you're in a kayak. Just
that's right.
All right. Dave Johnson writes in, can you please comment on why Black Rock, Half Moon Bay and the Brighton boat ramps have not been mentioned? Better Boating confirmed by message that Black Rock boat ramp launching is already free, but has not made any comment on parking fees. Currently, boat launching parking is still going to cost users money from the CBD down to Patterson Lakes. Did I get an answer on that one? I don't think I did. I did, but maybe I just didn't print it out. But I think they are free already, but technically they're free to launch. Technically they're free to park. But once the car park's full and you park outside of the boundaries of the boat ramp, then you will be charged. It's a technicality, and these things are just
they're going to keep popping up.
They're going to keep popping up, and
a few lines in the sand.
Either the councils or the courts will sort them out, I guess.
Getting there.
What's this one? G'day, Kramer. My question is, after watching yesterday's Talking Fishing, you provided a list of free boat ramps with 3 exemptions. One boat ramp that wasn't on your list was St Helens in Geelong. Could you please find out if this ramp is free, as ramp fees in the past were collected by the Coast Guard? Personally speaking, the Coast Guard provides an invaluable service and shouldn't be reliant on expecting volunteers to collect fees to exist. It doesn't fill me with confidence knowing that in the unlikely event I may need to call upon the Coast Guard for help, they are unable to attend because they don't have the funds to put fuel in their boat. And that is, you're spot on there, Andrew. Better Boating wrote back. Good pickup. I've had a chat with the City of Greater Geelong, and they've advised the following. There is a sign at the ramp that advises launching is free, but you may make a $4 donation to the Coast Guard. Not many donations are given. I'm getting a pic of the sign to circulate later on. I've asked for the web page to be amended, which it has been amended. So there you go. It's voluntary if you want to pay there to the Coast Guard, if they bother to collect anymore, given that most boat ramps are free now. So
okay, so they get any subsidy at all as far as the?
Well, they should be. I don't know.
Well, I don't know how much money's involved too. So whether it's picked up somewhere,
you wouldn't want a Coast Guard relying on getting $4 at the ramp, would you? I mean,
no, that's another thing.
You'd want a bit more. Yeah, a bit more than that. All right, this one's from James. James writes, love your work on Talking Fishing. Firstly, I'm all for stocking programs of trout. my target species on fly. I also practice catch and release. I also love the Target 1 Million campaign. But why don't you stock the big stockies, well, they're known as stonkers, stonkers, in lakes and impoundments rather than in the Goulburn? And stock the fingerlings in the Goulburn River system instead. What is the methodology in doing this? If you put the big ones in local lakes and impoundments, you can still achieve your target 1 million, but you won't upset the current ecosystem of the natural wild trout in the rivers and streams. Well, last time I checked, the Goulburn was far from natural, wasn't it?
Yes, it flows upside down sometimes of the year, but
I feel that there is damage being done by overstocking the big fish and attracting people to go up and take the wild trout. In addition to the stockies you are putting in there. Ever since the program started, I've noticed that the fishery up at Thornton has really dropped off and not what it used to be. We'll go there and ask the 100 people that were at Thornton on the weekend whether they thought it had dropped off, and I'll tell you what, I reckon they'd say it was fantastic.
He's probably talking about wild fish, but I can't imagine an opening weekend with a few people fishing.
You can get up the Acheron, the Rubicon, the Little Stevenson, the Delatite, the Hauqua, the Upper Goulburn, the Jamison, whatever. There are so many wild rivers with beautiful trout. Seriously, if you're after a wild trout, don't go to the Goulburn because
good
fisheries.
Good comment. We talked about last week with Trav, and he said there was some pictures of some guys who caught some fish. They were all natural browns, I think, were they? Yeah,
maybe.
Some good
they were
fish.
out of Eildon. They were out of Eildon itself.
That's out of the lake.
Yeah. But fair comment.
Yeah, tough one. All right. Hi guys, just wondering how the next lot of fresh stocking prawns will happen, hopefully in Lake Tyers. They're coming along.
Happens.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been easy. I think fisheries are trying to breed them in winter and it's not that easy. So, but Trav was going to cover it last week, run out of time.
Yeah.
And he is still saying that prawns will be in by this summer. And lucky last, they're yelling at us in my ear. G'day David, our fishing... Oh, this is from Eildon on the weekend. Our fishing party witnessed one poacher run off with a stonker.
Run off?
On the Friday Arvo. Hang on, I'll just get an update. Boys in the back room, are they counting how many times we've said stonker? Now, what are we up to, boys?
Those at home?
9, is that all?
Boys are having shots every time we say stonker.
Are those...
Yeah,
they'll be on.
The boys having shots,
They should drink to stonker. We just said it 3 times again.
Yeah, they're blind. Yeah, they can't remember.
At 12, our fishing party witnessed one poacher run off with a stonker on the Friday afternoon at the Thornton Bridge before the season opened. Naughty boy. The next morning, one bloke with no shame had killed 6 stonkers on the bank before 8 a.m. Would the Talking Fishing panel support a 1 stonker catch limit on the opening weekend to make this once-a-year event fairer for all? That's from James.
What's the limit anyway? How many?
I don't know.
That'd it take?
I don't know, we've got a book.
Question without warning. I don't know.
Is it 5 and... We'll look at it during the break.
But it's a mixture of salmonoids.
Let's debate it if we get time later on. We're getting yelled at. If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
And coming up next, hotspots, the all-important hotspots for this weekend. Trelly's already on the phone Googling how many stonkers you're allowed to catch. See you soon on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water. Truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for.
Hotspots, brought to you by Seamaster Batteries.
Are we sharing a beer tonight or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, someone buggered off with the stubby holders.
It's Kevin.
We need
Kevin.
new ones.
You oversold.
Do you reckon we go back to the red ones?
We're due for new ones anyway.
Yeah, Kev, big Kev. Back onto the stubby holders, please. trout and salmon regulations for the Goulburn. Bag limit 5 salmonids, of which no more than 2 fish may exceed 35 centimetres.
So he was bugging. He was over-bagged. And
but at the moment you're allowed to take 2 stonkers. Yeah. Let's get through hotspots. We'll debate what should be right, 1 or 2 or 5. Right, okay. Number 1, some big calamari we were talking about earlier on. None other place to go in Port Phillip Bay than Queenscliff right now. Try and get your slack tide, because it does flow pretty quick through there. But on the slack tide, some beautiful calamari around Queenscliff at the moment.
Yeah, fish big jigs too.
Big numbers, no nets.
3.5s, 4s.
3.5s and 4s, yep. Depending on where you hit the tide.
Yep.
I reckon for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. I mentioned this before. A mate of a mate was out at the Pinnis Channel, which is on the north-eastern side of Mud Island, out there on the weed beds.
Burley Essential one sounded.
Burley Essential, yeah. Well, there doesn't seem to be a lot of pinkies out there at the moment.
What's the etiquette with cutting across a burley trail?
Well, it's on the bottom
anyway.
No, it's okay.
That'd be another subject altogether for talking fishing.
Yeah, it would be, yeah. But King George Whiting, Pinnis Channel. Did we put that one up? Yep. I don't know if you did. I was looking at you guys. Pinnis Channel, there you go. Let's head over to Western Port. And this is always, this time of year, the capital of calamari, the Tyab Bank. Number 1 spot to go in Western Port for calamari.
Yes, and has been like the rest of Western Port and Port Phillip Bay. It's been so clear.
At the Tyab Bank?
On the Tyab Bank. We had a couple of reports that it was that ridiculously clear, the fishing was really tough.
Yeah.
But since the rain, I think she's going to be pretty good, and we've already seen the reports improve with some big calamari. Those spawners are coming back in.
Yeah.
They're ready to have a crack.
A nice place to go when there's a little bit of a light northerly is the Tortoise Head in Western Port, and King George Whiting are aplenty down there at the moment, boys.
Yeah, it's definitely, you don't have to pack up over winter anymore, do you?
No.
You just don't.
No. Well, I think we've got a couple of 20-degree days coming up, haven't we?
Oh, nice.
Oh, I think tomorrow's 20.
All for it.
Yeah, so anyway, good place to get down there. And of course, the freshwater scene is absolutely alive this time of year. The next hot spot is Lake Eildon and Murray Cod.
Yep.
Trelly, whereabouts in Lake Eildon would you head?
Oh, gee, I'm going to give it away now.
Yeah.
I'm going to get killed for this. Probably up the Delatite Arm.
Yeah.
Up the top of those arms and just fish big lures.
Yeah, swim baiting season.
Where the river sort of meets the still water.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit dirty at the moment with a bit of that inflowing water, which is probably a good thing. So and
so fish in the dirty or on the border of the fresh and the dirty, or in the fresh?
Border of the dirty, but the dirty is probably in. It's probably going to. It's the same sort of what you're talking about with a little bit of cover with the clear water.
Yeah.
They won't spook as much.
Yeah.
And certainly around the wall, around the Eildon wall.
Oh yeah. There you go. And lucky last for the hot spots, the Goulburn River, Stonker Trout.
Yep.
Can't go past that because that's going to go on for the next couple of months. But certainly, as soon as that water clears a little bit, the boys up at Snobs Creek Hatchery were saying it was like Niagara Falls coming down Snobs Creek on the weekend. All that rain coming from up in the hills and so forth. So
from Seymour upstream.
Yeah,
there
you go.
There's the spot.
That's the one. Okay, let's talk about Stonker Trout.
Yeah.
So you should. The bag limit's only 2.
I should change the book and should read Stonker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have it as a new species.
Have to talk to. I mean, they've got cheetah trout, brook trout, tiger trout.
Stonker trout.
Why wouldn't they have stonker trout?
Anything over 35 is a stonker. By look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's all right. So, is 2 too many?
No, I don't think so.
No. Considering they put 2,000 in though.
Taken 6.
But I guess that 35's not in there for those stonkers. It's there to protect the wild the wild fish of that size. The stonkers are literally being put in there to be taken out. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So there's no need to change it.
No. And that's 1,000 people can take 2 fish.
Yeah.
And then the 2,000 are gone. But 2,000 is a lot of fish, plus all the wild ones that are in there.
There'll still be quite a large percentage of that releasing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's just a part of recreational fishing now, the whole catch and release thing. It's part of it.
Yeah.
And like you say, they're bred. What they do with them before this? Yeah. They were going to Catford or something, weren't they?
I think they were going to the Sydney fish market.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So, the size of them, you only need one.
Yeah. I know. So that's what old mate's arguing, is that the bag limit should only be 1.
But didn't he say that he doesn't want him in there because it's ruining the fly fishing?
No, that was another bloke.
Oh.
That was old mate from the fly fishing club.
Oh, that's right.
Who drives his Jaguar up there.
Or
his
tweed,
Volvo.
that's right.
his tweed cap and his pipe.
You don't want to be doing the wrong thing, but that doesn't need to be changed, I don't think.
You don't?
No.
So it was a different old mate that said he saw.
Oh, because he saw a couple of people doing the wrong
was
thing.
6. He saw someone.
Oh,
with 6.
then they should be.
Well, he was outlined 6. It's over 2 over 35.
Over
Yeah,
bag,
but what he's saying is if you take one home, that's a lot of meat. Shouldn't be able to take
heaps.
2 home. It means if you took young Addy and Piper up,
Yeah, they could take 2 each.
yeah, you're allowed to take 6 fish home.
Oh, yeah. But that's when it comes down to the, morally.
Morally.
How many fish?
I'm tipping some of them ain't got morals up there.
I once against old mate that took 6 with, 6 of them over 35.
Yeah. Should there be a catch and release or no?
They're stock fish. They're in there to take them out. I'm not saying they should. Don't worry about old mate. No, definitely find him and hammer him with a fine.
I mean, you're probably going to
get
some more people reporting this type of behaviour, and you're going to get some people who are sort of like disagree and agree, but until you probably come up with some more numbers.
Because I think it'd be pretty safe to say now this is going to be an annual occurrence.
Oh, you'd hope so, yeah.
Oh, well, look at how massive it's been for fishing.
Yeah,
that's right. And if they're still catching these stonkers in 4 months' time, obviously they haven't got them all.
Yep.
So
will they
6
breed?
months' time.
I don't know.
If they're in there long enough, will they start breeding?
Are they in calf when they put them in? Like the cows.
No, I don't know.
They got eggs when they put them in.
Charlie, they're yelling at us. Show's over. All right, that's it for Talking Fishing. Get up to the Goulburn, please, and enjoy the stonkers. I know we ramble on about it, but get up there, enjoy it. Take your kids up because it's the only chance, probably, that they'll get a chance to catch a 10, perhaps 12-pound trout. It's just absolutely fantastic. And if you catch a stonker, send us a pic of your catch because we want to share that and just tell the world how good it is fishing in the Goulburn. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook.